Stephen Whitaker took over as the CEO of the John 3:16 mission back, in July?
End of July.
And it's good to have you here.
Good to be here. Thank you.
Good to see you sitting down for a change.
I'm appreciating it for a minute. Yeah, it's been a nice little drive. Made some calls.
How busy are you?
It's a busy time right now. You know, we had some big shoes to fill, and the need is great this time of year for going into Thanksgiving. And of course, we're known for feeding people, so we're trying to do as much of that as we can at John 3:16 mission. So
you do know, and I know you know,
yeah,
that there are so many food challenges out there right now.
Yeah.
I know that the Northeast Oklahoma Food Bank has seen like a 30 or 40% increase alone.
Right.
Other agencies are seeing the same kind of numbers.
Right.
Any idea what's triggered it?
Well, I think people are struggling a little bit more, and it's just compounding with the food price issue that we've been identifying. I got some data today that the food box for a turkey and the food things that go in it, if we were to provide that for a family, which we do in the thousands, to have Thanksgiving on their own, beyond the homeless meals, the hot meals, costs about $61, which is up a little bit more for a family of four. Mm-hmm. And it's just you can only take the damage so long when you're falling behind in various areas in your pocketbook, and it's getting worse for people.
Oh, I know it is. I mean, back 5 years ago, I remember distinctly some folks with the Tulsa Public School System told me that unless a child were able to get a free meal
right
at school, they didn't eat.
They didn't eat. My wife's a teacher, so she tells me if a student comes in at 9, you know, maybe got in late or they got up late and they're having trouble, you know, whatever reason, it's essential that she makes sure and get them their breakfast, even if it's a little bit of a distraction, so that they can have a good day the rest of the way through. Food insecurity is huge for our kids in the school systems.
How can they learn?
Exactly. Yeah. So we want to provide that for John 3:16 wants to provide that through the holiday break. So that's a good segue to that food we're providing to them, to have food at home while they're off for a few days, for 5 days, for the family to have a holiday meal together and not be distracted by hunger.
Not all, though, is good for you right now, because some of the donors that you counted on the past have all of a sudden hit hard times as well, haven't they?
Yeah. I think just the inflation issue has caught up with all of us. So everybody's savings dwindled over the last couple of years while the prices have been up, and food costs have come down in some areas, but not the majority is still pretty high for food costs. And over time, you just don't have anything else to give.
The cupboard is bare, if you will.
Cupboards are bare. You got to take care of your own family before you can give.
Exactly. Do you ever get out at night and kind of wander the streets?
Well, I try not to wander too far, but I do get out, and we have search and rescue teams that go out all times. But it's kind of part of our job to stay current with what's going on the streets, for lack of better wording. Yeah, it's rough.
The city of Tulsa seems to be really struggling.
Yeah.
To come up with a solution to homelessness.
Yeah, and the homeless industrial complex has kind of come to town.
Yeah.
And the focus is for that prescription is external factors, and external factors are a big deal. Housing scarcity and injustice and those kinds of things are variables. But the truth of the matter is, we can prove on paper and any other way that the biggest contributors are internal factors, internal variables, mental health, substance abuse, other things that we need to be working intentionally to solving homelessness. We're not going to be able to do it by just housing people. The strangest kind of way, housing is not the first solution to solving homelessness. We have to get our hands dirty. How
do we do that? How do you get agencies to focus?
Yeah, so
it's a big question.
Yes, sir. Sorry if I interrupted you.
That's okay.
Agencies focus on what the folks that provide the money ask them to focus on. And the beautiful part about supporting John 3:16 mission is people know we're going to do the right thing for the right reason, no matter what funders say. And we have the luxury of doing that because of the body of faith and people of faith, in large part, make sure we're able to do that, and we appreciate it. So I can be honest with you and say mental health and substance abuse are still a big contributor, no matter what Uncle Sam wants us to say. So I don't know all the answers, but that's the biggest variables we see contributing to homelessness.
Does your organization place any restrictions on who you help?
Never. No, no. Some people say we still require chapel, or we're faith-based. It's in our name, and that is our DNA, but we don't. No religion. No. Everybody can come get food and services at John 3:16. Now we have shelter beds for men in one location here, and then beds for women over there. So if we grade those areas, it can be confusing, but we provide help for everybody.
I've driven by in the evening, and I've seen folks. They almost give the feeling that they found a temporary home. They feel comfortable there. They don't feel threatened there.
Yeah.
And they know that what's inside is going to be shared.
That's right. That's right. We say hope begins with a meal at John 3:16. So when somebody comes and they get food and they get help and they get their immediate needs taken care of, then we can focus on feeling human and hopes and dreams and getting toward the therapeutic side of things, and focus on what caused us getting to that point. And that's what we're all about.
I got to tell you, one of the things that's a heartbreaker for me, my wife pointed out several times where we'd see children and babies on the street.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. I mean, what do you do?
Right, right. Well, if we have that, we have referrals and we have agency things. If you do it, you can call the police. They'll literally come pick up a mom with a baby who's in harm's way and take them to, they know better who's available and who has openings. And you should always take action. I mean, they see something, say something, needs to be what everybody does. And I think we all are just so heartbroken by it, we kind of turn a blind eye, because if we were to address it, we'd just melt,
Well, they used to say about the Vietnam War, you read it hard enough and you just fall down crying.
Yeah, that's the truth. That's what we see on the streets.
We got 2 minutes.
Okay.
In that 2 minutes, I don't want to put your feet to the fire, but I'm curious to know, are we moving in the right direction at all?
I'd like to think we are at John 3:16 Mission. We've expanded our capacities. We have a West Campus now, west of the downtown location. We're building out, increased by hundreds of % our capacity to serve homeless women in particular, and therapy recovery beds for men are at 80, and right around the corner. We're at 50 now. We've invested everything that we had in the bank into expanding our capacity to get men and women in a 1-year recovery program, address all those internal variables, and then we can worry about things like external variables like housing and injustices in court, and all the things that are beyond our control a little bit.
Well, that may take care of the folks that you come in contact with, but with the remaining time here, I guess what I'm looking for with you, as a professional, do you feel like that the needs are being addressed for the others?
No. I think the focus that's been mandated by agencies that fund people is completely focused on housing, and they've made it all external variable focused. And we have to look at the individual and take responsibility for what got us to this point. And it's hard work, it's dirty work, and it's heartbreaking work. And until we be honest with ourselves when we start doing it, we're not going to get anywhere.
You're going to get your hands dirty to get the job done.
We're going to. That's what we do.
Steve, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you.
Pleasure.
Maybe get you back over here sometime.
I'd love that. Anytime.
Okay. We're out of time. Thanks for being a part of it. We'll see you around here next time.